It's day 117 of 66 and 26, our journey to read all 66 books of the Bible in 2026. We're back in the Old Testament book of Isaiah today. If you've been reading through Isaiah with us over the last few weeks, you'll know that starting in chapter 13 of Isaiah, we started to hear Isaiah speak words of judgment, oracles against the nations surrounding Israel. Today, in chapter 21, 22, and 23, we see three major areas or kingdoms or cities that God calls out as worthy of judgment. And the first of those is Babylon. Babylon is that force that will come in and destroy the people of Judah and Jerusalem at a point after Israel has already fallen to the Assyrians. And it's interesting that as God speaks through Isaiah in chapter 21, as he speaks against Babylon, he's talking about a people, Elam or the Persians, who have not even risen to power. In fact, early in the early chapters of Isaiah, Babylon hasn't even risen to power. The Assyrians are the world power, and then they're eventually defeated by the Babylonians, and then the Babylonians by the Persians. And already in Isaiah 21, long before even the Babylonians have come to full power, he is predicting that as Isaiah, God is predicting through Isaiah that the Babylonians will fall to the Persians. And then also in chapter 21 is a prophecy against Edom. This is a short little section, just a couple of verses, but it's interesting as God speaks against Edom. It's a kind of a haunting expression here. Someone calls to me from Seir, "Watchman, what is left of the night? Watchman, what is left of the night?" And the watchman answers, "Morning is coming, but also the night," which means that yes, morning is coming, but there's also more night coming. And that means that judgment may have some relief for a moment, but then the judgment will continue to come. In chapter 22, we see a prophecy against Jerusalem itself. And God is speaking against his own people, especially because the leaders of Judah, the leaders who are in the capital of Jerusalem, flee at the first sign of danger without even putting up a fight. Verse 3, "All your leaders have fled together. They have been captured without using the bow. All you were caught were taken prisoner together, having fled while the enemy was still far away." They didn't battle against the Babylonians when they came against. And then chapter 23 is a prophecy against Tyre. Tyre is a city that is basically where the city of Haifa is today in northeast Israel. It's a major trading port, and Tyre was enriched by the trading that happened with ships coming into harbor and such. And the problem with Tyre is that they trusted in their own wealth. They trusted in their own possessions rather than trusting in the Lord. And so judgment is coming upon them also. Throughout all these chapters, we're seeing that the kingdoms of the earth rise and fall, but there is one kingdom that will never fall, and that is the Lord's kingdom. We can be assured of that. Even while God speaks against the sins and the corruption of these kingdoms and cities, we know that God's judgment is just, that his kingdom will last forever.